Hi, today's topic is slope of a line. So yesterday we already know how to graph a line using the given equation. So today we are going to find the slope of a line. The formula for a straight line is y equal to mx plus b. So yesterday we said like y equal to 2x plus 3. Okay, y equal to 4x plus 5. So the number in front of the x is called the slope of the line. Is the steepness of the line. And then the number at the end, the constant, is called the y-intercept. So we say b is the y-intercept. And the graph is the point where the line crosses the y-axis. Today our focus will be on the slope of a line. We are going to use 2 points on a line to find the slope m. So now let's take a look at the slope formula. So we say the slope equal to the change in y value over the change in the x value. So basically slope equal to y2 minus y1 and over x2 minus x1. So we're going to pick 2 points on the graph and then use this formula, the slope formula, to find the slope. So now this is a graph given to us. So we can see there are many points, but we only have to choose 2 points. So we had this point, the origin 0, 0, and this point 2, 3. So and another point 4, 6. I'm going to use these 2 points. So we're going to use 0, 0 and 2, 3. We always pick 2 points on the line to calculate the slope. So the first one is called x1, y1. The second point is x2, y2 because xy. Now we say the slope equal y2 minus y1. So y2 minus y1. So your y2 is going to be 3 and your y1 is 0. So 3 minus 0. Y minus y. And then over x2 minus x1. So 2 minus 0. And then we are going to simplify. So 3 minus 0 equal 3. And then 2 minus 0 equal 2. So therefore, slope of the line is 3 over 2. So we found the slope. A slope could be a fraction, could be integer. It could be decimal also if you convert the fraction into decimal. So for question number 1, the slope is 3 over 2. Now we are going to do number 2, find the slope of the line, and we have point 0, 2, this point 0, 2, this point is 1, 5, and then we have 2, 8. So now we're going to use 2 points. So let's use 0, 2 and 1, 5. So we're going to pick 2 points. You can pick any 2 points that you like. 0, 2 and 1, 5. Okay, so we say that the first point, we call it x1, y1. Second point, x2, y2. The slope formula, you have to memorize this formula. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So of course when you do it at home, you always have the formula in front of you. Okay, so now you are going to do substitution. So y minus y, 5 minus 2, x minus x, 1 minus 0. Now we're going to simplify. So to simplify, you can do it by hand, okay, or you can use a calculator. So I want to show you how to use a calculator. Okay, so you do 5 minus 2 equal 3. So therefore, get 3 over, and then you get 1 minus 0 equal 1. So you get 3 over 1. So we know that if you have a number on the bottom as a 1, it can turn into an integer. So 3 divided by 1 is 3. So this one it turn into integer 3. So we say that slope of the line is 3. So we finished this questions. So one more time, the slope is a number. It could be a fraction, it could be an integer, it could be a decimal. Now let's go to the next question. Find the slope of the line. So we have points given to us, so we have to pick 2 points. So this time I'm going to pick 2, 3, 2, 3, and 4, 1. So 2, 3 and 4, 1. You can pick any 2 points that you want to use. So now the first point we call it x1, y1. Second point we call it x2, y2. Now you have to write down the slope formula. Okay, slope equal. Now we say y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That is a slope formula. Now we're going to do substitution. So we had y2 is 1. So 1 minus 3. 1 minus 3. And we go to the x value. 4 minus 2. Now we are going to use our calculator. So from the first one, you get 1 minus 3. You get negative 2. And then this one, we have 4 minus 2. Okay, so we got 2. So now, negative 2 over 2. So if you're not sure you're going to be fraction or decimal, so you can just divide it. So you put negative 2 divided by 2. And you found out it become an integer. So we write it as negative 1. So therefore, we say that the slope of the line is negative 1. So we found the answer for this question. So one more time, the slope can be a fraction, could be an integer, could be decimal. Now let's go to number 4. Find the slope of the line. So now I am going to ask you to take a look at this one over here. Do you really see a point? If you don't see it, what do you do? If you don't see it, you just have to pick 2 points and you have to find the coordinate. So this point over here, you always go to the x-axis first. It's 2 and then up 3. So you see 2 and 3. So therefore 2, 3. So I found my first point, and I want to use this point. So the x value is 5 and up 2. So 5, 2. So I found my 2 points. So I'm going to write them over. So 2, 3 and 5, 2. So if the question never give you a point, you just have to find the coordinates for the point. Okay. Now you are going to call the first one x1, y1, second x2, y2. So the slope equal y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So now we're going to do 2 minus 3. So 2 minus 3. Then we go to the x. 5 minus 2. Okay, next step, we just have to use our calculator. Now we are going to say 2 minus 3 equal negative 1. And then you do 5 minus 2 equal 3. So if you're not sure it's going to be a fraction or decimal or integer, then you just type in negative 1 divided by 3. So it turned into decimal, so I'm going to leave it as fraction. So the answer is negative 1 over 3. So sometimes you also write it as negative 1 over 3. You bring the negative sign in the front. Negative 1 over 3 is same as negative 1 over 3. Bring the negative sign in the front. So therefore, the slope of the line is negative 1 over 3. So we finished the question number 4. Now I'm going to ask you to do this question by yourself. Find the slope of the line. So you have the 2 points that label 3, 4, and 7, 5. So use this to quantify the slope of the line. I will give you 1 minute, and then in a moment I will go over the question with you. Okay, so let's go over this question. So the first point, 3, 4, we got x1, y1. Then the second point, we got x2, y2. So we say the slope equal y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So now we're going to do substitution. Y2 is 5, so 5 minus 4. X2 is 7, so 7 minus 3. Now we are going to do subtraction. 5 minus 4 is 1, and then 7 minus 3 is 4. So we got 1/4. If you're not sure you're going to become a decimal or integer, so you always type it in, 1 divided by 4, and you found out it's a decimal, so you can leave it as a fraction. You don't have to convert it into a decimal. So we say the slope of the line is 1/4. So we finished this question. Now you're going to do the summary of the video and go to do the 4 multiple choice questions. I am going to ask you to calculate the slope of the given line.